Torres is recognized for 5 minutes.
Chief, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for your leadership during these very difficult times. As I told you when we met last week, for some reason I thought you were here a short few months, but it's been 2 years, almost 2 years. So thank you for the leadership that you have provided to this campus, to our officers during the time that you've been here. Over the last few months, I have had an opportunity to meet with police departments across the U.S., some of them very large police departments such as the LAPD and the New York Police Department, to hear from them how they respond to large demonstrations and civil unrest, to hear from them how they put together an after an incident report, who gets those copies, and how they go back and either provide follow-up training to officers. They always take an after-action measure of their skills and then reassess from there. You and I talked about this last week. Last Congress, this committee held hearings on the department's preparation and response to the January 6th attack. A main concern was that the department's inadequate training of its officers, particularly the Civil Disturbance Unit training, stood out as ineffective. According to the Inspector General, the departments didn't authorize the Civil Disturbance Unit to use all available less than lethal munitions like grenade launchers and sting ball grenades because the department did not have the sufficient personnel trained to deploy those types of weapons. Additionally, the IG also found that 22 of the 29 Containment Emergency Response Team officers, known as CERT, were not qualified on their handguns, a basic training. And 21 of the 29 were not qualified on their rifles on the day of January 6th attack. We've come a long way since then, thanks to your leadership. Can you walk us through some of the processes and some of the training? And as I told you, I am not opposed to simulator type training, but that type of training does not take the place of real life training for officers, face to face with either an angry crowd or people that, may not be having a great day that day.
So we have invested a great deal into ensuring that we got not only the training done, but some of the failures that you're talking about were equipment failures. The fact that we didn't have the equipment for all of our officers. We sent some officers out there that didn't have helmets, didn't have shields, and that's just unacceptable. So we have fixed the equipment problems. We've gotten, I think if it's not 100%, it's about 98% of our officers have all brand new equipment. They've been trained with the equipment. And with regard to the training that we're doing, we brought in outside experts to teach the leadership of our Civil Disturbance Unit to ensure that we are using best practices from the departments that you talk about. LA, NYPD, who have a great deal of experience with that. So we've increased the training, and we've ensured that every officer gets the CDU training. And in fact, what we do is when an officer graduates from the academy, they spend a week right after that getting their first CDU training, and they get issued their equipment. And so that we will have gotten to a point where all of our officers are getting the training. In addition to that, I agree with you. Virtual training is great, and it gives us great opportunities to do, but you also have seen that we've started the active shooter training, and the best practice is to do the training where you will actually be performing.
And for that, I am grateful for the alerts that I get every single day, every single week about trainings, simulations that the officers are doing while we are here and while we are working out of our districts. It is unconscionable to me, the quality of performance from the previous chief. It is surprising to me that he was allowed to stay on even a day after, January 6th. I think that he should have been arrested and tried for his crimes committed against Capitol Police officers for failing to provide the proper training to them. So I thank the change and thank you for your leadership, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back. Ms.